agree with you that the next issue is how do you internalize, for instance, you're talking about ESD, how do you internalize it? For instance, like I said, if the decade ends on 2014, so what happens next?
We have a second. Like, there has been a decade for indigenous people, and then right away, because nothing was achieved, now we have the second decade. I think we can have trust in that. I hope so.
Because like you said just now, you have a school, ESD school, just for the sake of the decade, but the thing is what happens after that? Because like when we work with the community, we ask them, for instance, in terms of conservation of the fish, because in my place there is one special fish that the community concerned. We asked the community, why do you do this? And then the woman who was in the project says that, because I want to do it for my children and my grandchildren. That kind of thinking is very simple, but the thing is they are looking at the
next generations as well.
The next generation is not because of I'm doing it because the government says so, because UNESCO says so, but I'm doing it because I want to preserve this for my children and grandchildren. That kind of thinking, how do we make sure that kind of thinking is internalized in everybody? They were doing this not because of external forces, but the internal forces within me that I want to do it because for the good of mankind. It sounds like a cliche, but that's how I see it.
Well, I think...
awesome. Thank you very much.
Well, if I find something interesting and useful,
This is like, okay, all our listeners, viewers, this is one of the best insights of how meetings go with practitioners, people from different parts of the world, sharing stuff, so much to learn, inspiring things happening everywhere. And I hope you enjoy seeing these inspiring people who are in this movement and part of all this, so there's hope. Everybody join in. I think so, unless some technology breaks down. That's what it's meant to go, People need to see this. Educators need to see this. Young people, so they understand this is also stuff happening in the UFO of UNESCO conferences. So far it's just extraterrestrial.
Where is Malawi? Where is Malaysia? Now start looking up.
Well, it's a pleasure to
final thing I always like to ask, so what's your message to the young generation, to young people?
The young generation, I tell them there is hope, they should not despair, and I think they should take interest in the environment because the natural resources are what are going to sustain them.
Okay, for me, those young people and those young at heart, I would say that we work together, because I think this intergenerational gap must not anymore exist, because I think we tend to focus very much on the young people, but what about those young at heart, like me, alright, for instance. Alright, well, let's work together. Let's work together for this. It's not just for the next decade, but for the future. Just work together. Alright, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Alright.